All right. Hope you guys did well and weren't too surprised by the questions that came up. All right, just a very quick one, so that you can get most like instantaneous feedback on how you did. Now, we want to know what is happening here, right? Okay, now this one, right? The source-based questions. Now, source A is very clearly anyway, what you should have done is that you should have looked at the question, which is how far the sources say to support the view that the USA should take all the blame. What you should note is this question, this thing, all the blame for the failure of the UN peacekeeping in Rwanda. Yeah? Alright, so this is very specific in Rwanda. So those of you who have read out on Rwanda, congratulations. Those of you who haven't, it will really depend on how well you have prepared for the rest, because Rwanda is a lot of times very much connected with the US experience in Somalia, because it's actually because of the US failure, or the US failure to be able to stomach casualties in Somalia, that affected what they are willing or not willing to do in Rwanda. Alright, so if you have learned about either Somalia or Rwanda, you should do relatively fine. Alright, first things, what are all the sources? Alright, source A is definitely a disconfirmed source. Alright, it's hard to say that it's definitely enough for you. And what you should note is that it quoted here that it hosts both the United Nations and leading member nations, primarily the United States. Now, don't get distracted by the primary the United States, because if you go back to look at hypothesis, we are talking about all the blame, and this obviously does not allow us to put all the blame on the United States. Alright, now going on to source B, very quickly we can see here that it's wrong at source B. It's a confirmed source. Why is that so? It is a confirmed source because it highlights that well, it says that not only did the US have an idea about what was happening in Rwanda, one of the main reasons why they ignored Rwanda was that because the US was distracted on other things such as Bosnia and Haiti, and basically the US did not know how to handle the issue, right? And some of you might get a bit confused with the part in blue, where it says that you do not know what the problem was and how to fix it politically through the UN. Right, but you shouldn't, because actually this is a commentary about the US not knowing how to work through the UN. Alright, so this is still a confirmed source. Alright, quickly moving on to source C. Alright, source C is definitely also a confirmed source. Alright, one of the reasons why it's a confirmed source is obvious, is because this is talking about how Rwanda lives received no priority in American policy, and how this particular US policy dramatically reduced UN AMIR to a token 270 people, which is the UN mission in Rwanda, right? And so source C is a confirmed source. Now, what about source D? Source D, all right, it's a disconfirmed source, right? All right, it's a disconfirmed source, and we know this because this source is primarily trying to pin the disaster in Rwanda on the vagueness of the secretary's presentations. That you can see here, brief, vague, indecisive, so on. And we probably wouldn't like this that much, because actually this it's American politics professor, all right, and so he might be trying to defend the United States, all right. Source E, of course, it's also a disconfirmed source. All right. This is by Romeo Delare, and you probably won't like it that much either, because it's kind of an emotive source, you know, when you see things like shit hits the fan. Alright, but what's the main thing that allows you to know that this is a disconfirmed source is because he highlighted the fact that even though the Belgians left, he was able to do something. And what really sort of made his job impossible was that the Belgians went around and argued with all the other nations that they should all pull out, and that was why the forces collapsed. You see. So according to him, at least in this source, it was the Belgians' fault. Alright, so when you quickly look through all the sources, I think you generally know this is what you should have been doing. Alright, I've already uploaded the answer schemes on Aspire tool, so you could have a quick look. So, but we will definitely be going through all these things in more detail. All right, when you guys come back, and we'll definitely have more things to say about the essays, but do take a look at them very quickly. All right, but all the best for the rest of your papers.